Well, everyone, I got Mike on the other end here. We're going to start an interview talking about some of the stuff going on with MetaZoo. I'm Stphen Barcelo from the Cryptozoology Paranormal Museum, and I'm all excited to have Mike here. Last time we talked was, what was it, a seance, I believe.
Yep. I think a little bit before seance.
So when was the release for Native?
Um,
April 1st?
April April 14th to 16th.
Oh, okay. Wasn't sure about that. So you got some big things coming up here now. You've got the gala coming up in New York.
Yep. And then following right after that, we have the Earth Tower.
That's in Manhattan too.
Yes.
Okay. What are you having that one?
So we're not going to reveal the location just yet, but
Oh, okay.
it should be nearby the
Okay.
gala where the gala is.
I'm already asking secret questions. I don't even know it.
No,
Uh,
it's
one of the questions too. I get the 30th year anniversary reprint run. Tell me a little bit
yeah.
about that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's one of our it's our I guess it's our second April Fool's set, and it's kind of poking fun a little bit at Magic and their 30th event. Um, you know, where they reprinted some reserve list cards, but with different backs. So we took some of our reserve list cards and kind of made goofy versions of them, just to kind of have a laugh, and
Right.
people seem to really like it, so it was fun.
Poke fun. Yeah. That's good. Anything special in those that you're gonna sneak out or tell anyone about? Anything hidden in there, a special card or anything?
I think people are gonna have kind of the some of their favorite reserve list cards spoofed, and without revealing too many of the cards, kind of like we did with the first April Fools. We let it not be a secret, but we kind of let them be unrevealed until the set release was, or until the boxes were shipping out.
Let everyone start cracking them, having fun. Was that the Metapoo?
Yeah,
Okay. I've got a couple of those. I was able to get some of that stuff.
yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, good stuff. So the one of the other things I wanted to ask you about is the are you going to be doing the foundation? I guess you're raising money for the MetaZoo Foundation at the gala.
Correct. Yeah, we're gonna be. Yeah, we have a few different organizations that we're going to be raising money for, and I think this week we're going to be announcing a few of them.
Okay, very cool. So you're going to have auctions, I assume, or
Yep, we're gonna have auctions. We're gonna have giveaways, things like that. Um, we're also gonna be auctioning off some of the original art for Native that was done by some indigenous artists. So all going towards a good cause, and people are gonna be wearing suits and ties, and it'll be fun. It'll
it
be
sounds like
a good reason to uh, meet and interact with the community, and just generally, you know, um, have an excuse to socialize.
yeah. I know now as far as MetaZoo's growing so much and so quickly. I mean, it's kind of funny. You think back. I mean, I've been kind of been along with you because of you from the beginning, from Kickstarter, and it seems like it's been so long, and it hasn't been. It's been what, a year and a half?
Yeah. So if you think about it, I guess since the Kickstarter release back in March of 2021, well, yeah, I guess we're coming up on 2 years now, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Which seems like a long time, but actually isn't, right?
Yeah.
Um, but the world was definitely a different place back then. It was really in the center of COVID and quarantine, and it's crazy to think that quarantine happened 3 years ago. That's pretty crazy to think that it's been that long.
It altered things so much, especially with us at the museum. We had to shut down. I mean, who thought it was going to last that long? Like we have our event coming up April 15th, and now this is the first one we're doing in over 2 years. We had to cancel the original one, and we canceled it. We figured it would 2 months off and cancel another 2 months off. After I realized like this is just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean 2020, 2021 were like the bulk of it, but even like 2022, people were like the world was still recovering, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like this year it's really the first year where I feel it's not like things that are happening aren't COVID related or related to COVID in any way, which is kind of awesome that we're at that point.
I still got the sanitation station in the front of the museum. I still got a beer mug full of masks. I
Yeah,
still got my. It's crazy.
yeah, I think that people are going to forget what it was like very soon.
Yep.
Even people that went through it, and I think people's memories are short in that regard. But it's just crazy to think that it's been that long.
Yeah, it's been an uphill battle. Yeah, we're at the new building now. I sent you some pictures of the murals. Did you see that?
Yeah, beautiful.
They're doing a great job. That's a community effort. It's a local artist, Frank's Gallery. She's coming over to do it. And in the process, we're having just people from the community come up and help out. And it's kind of like color by, not by numbers, but we put colors in there. And then after it's all done, we're going to hopefully have another crowd out tomorrow to paint. So that's really working out great. I love that the community tied in with all this.
Yeah, when do you think it's gonna be finished?
Hopefully real soon. I want it done. The whole thing is we want it done by the festival. And I'm still
Okay.
working in the background. I'm going to be playing electrician after I get off the meeting with you and get this uploaded. I've got so much to do. I mean, it's just been nonstop. I mean, I have to tell you, it's just people don't realize what it's like to be doing these sort of things. Like, and coming out of COVID, and I'm trying to I'm almost like restarting the museum again. And thank God for MetaZoo being there and helping us out and stuff. It's what enabled us to get into this new building. Thank goodness, you know.
Oh yeah, no, I'm excited to see what it ends up looking like. Would be cool to see a MetaZoo cryptid up there.
Oh, I think
But
we should.
yeah.
That's for the front of the building. You guys got to be the front. That's the side they were doing that mural on. So I got a spot for you.
Oh, well, you're doing the whole building. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Eventually we'll get the whole building. Plus, I want to get some murals in the back room. I don't know if I've showed you pictures. Probably have. You've seen so much. The back room's actually we have 3,700 square feet here. So part of it, like my office back here, my little studio. I gave myself the smallest room. I'm mean to myself. But yeah. So, but anyway, I want to put some murals inside and stuff. I just want to make it all fun, and I want to start getting some tournaments going in here. That's the other room's going to be for. We're in good shape for doing things like that. We just got to get. I'm kind of a one man band. I'm lucky enough to have two assistants helping today. I sent you a photo of them hanging out in the they're making jewelry and making necklaces.
I remember
It's
seeing
crazy.
videos of I think it was you and your granddaughter. Like when
Yep.
you used to put videos on YouTube, you guys would go out and just hang out and talk.
Actually, that was
Um,
my buddy Ariana, and she's actually my buddy's granddaughter. And she
oh, okay.
actually I got a sad story to say this to make sense. She just had a bad situation the 5 days ago. Turns out she just turned 15. We didn't know she was diabetic, and
Oh
Ken gets
no.
home, finds out she's passed out in the house, and it turns out she's in a diabetic coma. So thank God she had brain swelling. I know this is a terrible thing to be talking about now,
Oh no.
but the poor kid. And but she's doing fine. The last couple of days, she's come out and she's got some motor skill issues, but she's coming around. She's a trooper. Yeah, it's my little buddy. I
Wow.
take her out Bigfooting with me. We're doing hikes and stuff. Peanut.
Peanut, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that she's doing relatively okay. And now you know, right?
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
goodness. I
scary
mean, but
stuff.
it's just a crazy world. Is every time you know how it is. Take two steps forward, something happens.
Yeah, yeah.
But since we're talking about that stuff, let's talk about the event coming up. So we got our event April 15th, and MetaZoo's going to be there. Do you have any idea who's coming, or is that all going to be secret too?
I think we're gonna send Ted out there.
Okay,
Because with the gala and with the tower, we can't have the whole group there,
right.
unfortunately. But we would love to have some presence there and help with the event.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and I'm going to promote the heck out of it, and I'll send you whatever we need on our end. And we've actually put up some. I don't know if you can see it. I'll put it up here. I'm filming on both cameras. But we made special, only 100 made VIP badges.
Ooh.
So, and I figure hopefully, I don't. You gonna have any artists there to sign anything?
Um,
Not
Let
Ted's
me
going to
talk
be
to the
signing.
artist and see who's available. But yeah, no, we'd love to
We'll get some. So have
this
people
out
get these
there.
signed and stuff. So I purposely only made 100 of them. So
Yeah,
things collectible.
for
Uh,
sure.
Yeah, we're all excited about that. Like I said, it's our first one coming out. One of the things too, I don't think I showed you this. I'll send it to you later. But they actually have a huge projection screen, like the many movies we grew up with. We had a real theater screen, so we actually are doing videos and shooting videos of ourselves. So it'll be projected up in the back. So instead of being 6 foot tall, why don't we be 20 some foot tall up on the big screen? And that's working out. So we did a couple of dry runs. So far, it's working great. The audio is nice. So we can start off with a video, and then the house lights can come up, and you can go out there with your microphone, walk out, and do a Q&A and discuss things. So we're trying to
That's
step it
pretty
up.
cool.
It's going to be nice. It's going to be really nice.
Are you going to be showing any movies or anything like that, or is it just for presentation purposes?
It's going to be a little bit of our, more just movies we're shooting. We do have some stuff I got from Seth from Small Town Monsters. So I'll probably play some of his clips in there. It's like we take breaks to promote his stuff. So we're trying to work together. He couldn't make it. It's like I said, it was kind of like 3 months before the event. I got a date. We just needed to do it. So I'm going to be announcing next year's date before we actually start, so we can actually be a whole year ahead, be very organized. And next year we're going to do
Right.
a 2 day event, so we can do like a VIP. And if you guys want, there's a room there we can set up in the back, so you can do gaming if you want to bring up, have people teach people to play. And another thing I was planning on doing is after 5:30, we're going to wrap things up there, kind of at 5:30, bringing people back to the museum here. Like with that, that's why I want to get that other back room done, and we can do some MetaZoo stuff back there too.
Very cool. Yeah, no, and it's good that you can plan a year out now without thinking that things might change because of COVID. So
Right.
uh,
Well,
yeah,
hopefully, our fingers crossed.
hopefully. Yeah, exactly.
Crazy world. I'm trying to think what else. Mothman Printing. What's that about?
The moth. Yeah. So it's just we're calling it Mothman Collectables now. It's going to be something that we print things that are tangentially related to MetaZoo in some way. But the idea is US based printing, and it's still in development. We're still figuring out exactly what we want to do with it, but um, we have some plans on the horizon, and the idea is that everything that we print is somehow related to MetaZoo, and we're looking to kind of get a bunch of interesting collaborations done in order to facilitate that.
Very cool. You're going to start actually printing your own cards in the States.
That would be amazing, and I think that that's something that we're heading towards. Yeah,
That'd be great. Yeah, very cool. Does anybody print in the United States at this point?
I think that most of the printers print primarily for Pokemon and Magic right now. I know there are a few printers up in uh, Canada, I want to say,
Okay.
but yeah, pretty much as it is right now. If you want to print something, you have to either do Millennium Printing, which is owned by Pokemon, or Cartamundi, which is primarily, I think it's right now, primarily Magic and Flesh and Blood.
Okay. You know my vast knowledge of trading cards.
Yeah.
The only thing I know is your game. That's it. And moving forward, what do you got coming forward for the partner programs and the LGSs?
So we're actually going to be doing we're taking a note out of some of the more long-standing TCGs where rather than having like local game store kits that are focused on like stickers and decals, they're more event focused. So
Okay.
tournament packs, MZO, promos, and kind of the cool thing about these is that they're super cheap to produce and to kind of give to our distributors and say, hey, give these out for free or have whatever you want to charge to local game stores, and they're meant to be used in a way that facilitates like events in store. So we're adapting based on feedback from the past two, I believe, LGS kits that we've done, and
Right.
we're definitely enhancing it.
And you have a third one coming out, right, for, I guess,
For,
native.
for native. Yeah. So we're gonna be those should be coming out end of April, early May. We couldn't get it in time for the release event, but moving forward, these kits will go out with distributors who are distributing the product, and then of course to partners who get the product directly from MetaZoo.
I love giving stuff to people when they come in. A lot of people don't even know about MetaZoo, and I'll be explaining it to them, and they go, "That's a brilliant idea." And I'll give them a pack, and I'll throw in a collectible sticker or something, and they just think it's the best thing in the world. They usually try to take a picture of them and post it and stuff. But
Yeah, we're in an interesting spot where, this year we're definitely going to be building up our cryptid community relations. And because the funny thing is that a lot of the cryptid community simply doesn't know about us. So
right.
spreading that awareness, I think, is key. Especially since, that's where the bulk of our potential fans are. And there are millions of them.
Oh, sure. And that's why I do my best. You see me, I'm subliminally wearing a MetaZoo shirt when I'm on PBS and stuff. Doing my part, doing my part.
Well, I
Things
appreciate
in the
that.
background. Yeah, no, I appreciate what you guys are doing. I'm all over the place. I'm a dyslexic. So I bounce all over the page here. MetaZoo, doing a partnership with Lego.
So that's going to be interesting. More info about that will release this summer.
Okay.
But it's going to be in conjunction with a big event that's happening in September. So more I can't talk about it too much, but more details to follow on that pretty soon.
I had to watch a lot of other people's videos so I could pick up on some of these keynote things.
Yeah.
I look informed, What's the
Yeah,
other
no,
thing?
of course.
But something now, this is kind of personal for me. It goes down my end of the road. The tarot cards you did. Are you ever going to do tarot cards, or be something we can actually sell out of the stores?
Other than the 5,000 that we did with eBay, we are looking at potentially doing something like that in the future. But it made sense with Seance.
Right.
But so, and I'm sure that there'll be an opportunity to do something like that again.
Mhm.
But kind of like the poker cards, once they're out there, it's we kind of want them to spread into the ethos and be this collectible thing. But who knows? Like we might do tarot cards again in the future. But
Yeah, you'd have to do
right
it
now,
totally different.
yeah. Right now we're focused on. There's so many
Moving
things
on,
that we haven't done yet. Yeah.
one of the bigger and better things. I'm trying to see what else I got in the way of notes here. Then we'll just babble. Uh, tarot cards. These are people ask me some of these questions too. But some funny story too. I got called in for an interview from a Washington D.C. paper, Capital News Service or whatever, and they wanted me to ask me questions about cryptics, being the guy from the museum, and it was about Goatman, Chessie, and Snallygaster. And Snallygaster, I really wasn't familiar with, so to the rescue, MetaZoo. I pulled one of your Snallygaster cards out and used that as the reference and did some stuff. And I found out, it's what called Snallygaster's German quick ghost, and that those 7-pointed stars are called Snallygaster. I had no idea. I mean, so I looked very much more educated after being able to have these. So the cards come in handy even for us so-called experts here. But
Yeah, by the end of the Crypto Nation block, we will have had like I think several hundred cryptids
yeah,
like represented. And but even with that, like you're kind of not even really scratching the surface.
yep.
Um, but I'm glad with the footprint that we've left, I think, in terms of bringing some of these more obscure cryptids to light.
Yeah, it's just impressive. I mean, if here's someone like myself, or you probably more so, but I love this stuff. I'm always researching it, and I love coming across other things I really didn't know about, or I've heard in the past but never followed up on. So,
Yeah, and I think there'll be an educational tool moving forward. There's always going to be people who, they fall in love with, like you said, like Snallygaster, and they find out that, we did a Snallygaster card, and that's always going to be an entry point into MetaZoo for future fans.
yeah, definitely.
It's into the crypto community too.
See what else I got here. A couple more questions so we can just shoot the breeze. What is the video games coming up with the video games and your arcade?
Yeah. So that hopefully we debut that at San Diego Comic Con. We're working on finishing the sprite work now, and I'm working very closely with the company Glitchbit to begin, ideally, very soon, soliciting local game stores, kind of the arcade community, in order to get those pre-ordered. And
Right.
they hand make every single machine, so it's not like a game that
Right.
just gets uploaded to an existing machine. It's going to be a MetaZoo arcade. So yeah, it's really cool, and it's a really simple game. It's just a really basic Smash Bros type fighting style game, but
Okay.
um, there are going to be people who purely love MetaZoo because of that game, and they don't care about the plush or anything like that. They just love going to the local arcade and or the local game store and competing in order to get those prize cards or to get their name on the high score list.
Will the machine actually dispense cards?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're gonna have an arcade series that is specific to the arcades, and so when you win or whenever you play, it dispenses a booster pack of that's exclusive to the arcades, and it goes to
Oh,
the
okay.
winner of the that game that you played.
Oh, very cool. Is that going to be available just for arcades? That's something will go in the LGSs and stores eventually.
I'm specifically making it sized and affordable enough to be accessible to the local game store that wants to dabble in kind of the arcade business. And you see that happening more and more where, a local game store will have like a claw machine, for instance, or something of
Right.
that nature. So those two worlds are blending in a very interesting way.
That's sort of like in the back room here. I'm planning on putting like a soda machine in and maybe some kind of something for the kids or something. They can go back there and win some kind of cryptic. I'll put something in like
Yeah,
the claw machine, but I'll have specific to our stuff.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty crazy. That's going to be cool. You guys got so much going. I remember at the beginning you were doing I got a bunch of your sneakers this in the back room over here, and the watches. I mean, think of all the things that you've gone through down the time there. That's one of my favorites. Still, your F5 key.
Yeah.
What's a bunch of shit
Um,
here.
no, we kind of have the freedom to do things like that, and then of course, if you look at like Pokemon, they used to have like toothpaste and they had all these different things that they
Right.
used to do, and then as the years went by, they continued with some of them, and then other ones they were just like, that was from that era, and we moved on from that. So I'm sure we'll do sneakers again in the future. But I love ideas like little ideas like the F5 keys and just making that kind of like an inside joke for the community.
And that's the best stuff too. And it's that silly little collectible. And like you've had stuff go on where you have to hit the refresh, and I've sent it to my keyboard. I have a laptop, so I don't have a regular. And I just stick my F5 key up there just to be silly.
No, I've seen that. It's one of the whenever people show me keyboards, I generally do see the F5 key, which is always a good laugh to have.
So one of the things I forgot to ask the 30th anniversary reprint. What's the print run on that, or you're saying what it is?
It's the same as the so we sold 10,000, so it's the same as April
Okay,
Fool's last year. Yeah.
on to that. So what else you got coming? That I'm not privy to. I'm not asking. What do you want to tell?
We have the shorts, the animated shorts that are coming up, um, which will be cool. It'll be something that it takes place. The storyline for that takes place before the veil shatters, but it's kind of like as you're ramping up to it. And the cool thing about that is like it's very reminiscent or reflective of the current cryptid community. So it'll be like based in like a podcast. There'll be characters from the story that show up, but it's kind of like a mini introduction to MetaZoo in a format that no one's ever seen before, and hopefully in a format that gains a wider audience. that, may not be involved with trading card games. They may not be, involved with cryptids even, but this is like a good way of
Introducing a new audience.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of that's why I one of the benefits for me having MetaZoo here, and besides me just kind of getting addicted to it when you first sent me stuff, is it's brought in a different crowd. So I've actually have people that come in now from Raleigh and Durham and Richmond occasionally, just because I have product that they can't get anywhere else. And so
Oh,
I
I
love
love
having something unique to give them too. I can say like, well, not just that, I can throw you an LGS card and wrap it up, and they like, I'm
that.
all thrilled. I mean, because it made it worth their trip to come down here to buy a booster box and have something special to reach them with. Other things coming up down the road for us and you guys, we got to start doing the take your crew out Bigfooting and do the paranormal stuff.
I'd love to do that. Yeah, and we mentioned that in the last
Yeah,
interview, where we're like, as soon as, because it's starting to get cold, right?
yeah,
Um,
that's a good time. Bugs aren't too bad then.
yeah, right. So whenever you think is a good time, let me know, and I'll
Yeah,
make the journey.
yeah. Ted actually had a good idea last time we talked at Cryptocon. We are talking about doing some kind of giveaway for people to come out and do the MetaZoo Bigfoot thing. We are talking like almost like the Boy Scout thing with a patch. Would be like your logo, my logo, and just basically like you achieved a Bigfoot outing or something like that. Another fun collectible thing. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of something outside the box and try to
yeah.
think
Whatever
what
you
else.
decide, let me.
What's that?
Uh, whatever you decide, let me know, and I'll make the trip.
Yeah, it sounds great. I'm looking forward. What else do you want to talk about? I know you've got a lot going on. Is now the company's got so big and uh, with all the I don't want to say money, but the size of things growing and with all the responsibilities, and I know you've got to get your crew bigger. You've got to take a more of a back seat now and probably be less involved with the day to day running. And you're not going to be out to the events as much now, I would assume.
Yeah, and I think there was a time where me being accessible in that way, made a lot of sense. But I think now, because we're focusing on things like the IP related stuff, right? Like the show, the book, um the video game, things that I can help do and only really I can help do. We have such an amazing staff that can do things like events. And I'll also be at events for sure, but it doesn't make sense for me to be going back and forth, and like that time needs to be spent doing things that only I can do.
On the creative end. Yeah, it's just it makes sense. You can't be out there all the time, just driving, be on the road the whole time. So, like even like this is a perfect example. Now, you the weekend of my event, you've got two other things happening the same weekend. You got the gala and you have the tower. So,
Yeah, exactly. And I'm trying to double up where I can, where, hey, if there is like the Hodag Heritage Festival, right? We'd love to do a forest tower. So it makes sense to make those things coincide, right? Um, that way, you know, we don't miss out on one or the other, and we don't have to spread ourselves too thin. So like there is a smart way of doing it,
right.
so that we miss out on these things. But yeah, no, this year is going to be crazy, and then next year crazier even still. And it's just one of those things where as we grow, my role will change, as it should, right? Like um, the kind of the era of me handing out booster packs at a small convention, that again, that was beautiful and it had its time, but my time is spent. I have so many other things that I need to be doing that unfortunately I can't be going to everything. I mean, I'd love to, right? But it's unfortunately that's kind of the double-edged sword of being the boss, right? You have to make those tough decisions.
And it makes it more special when you do hit one too. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
someone get your autograph on this, that, and the other thing. It makes it more rare. So Mike was there, and Cool.
And I think, I'll be going to obviously the gala and the Earth Tower. And then I think I'll definitely be going to San Diego Comic Con, New York Comic Con for the Casters Cup. And then when I can and when it makes sense, I'll go to these other conventions. But otherwise, my very, very, incredible team will be there doing those things.
Yeah, you've got a good crew. They're really a good, loyal crew. Your artists are just amazing. So very impressed. You've really been lucky with the bunch of people you've hired.
Yeah, yeah. Lucky and we've obviously grown as well, right? Like a lot of people who are very, very good at their jobs now, when they were first hired, it was like the first time ever doing that kind of thing, right? But the years go by and they get better and better at their jobs, and I think we're seeing that in terms of how the events are run, and it's going a lot more smoothly, and very lucky to have those people on board and on board for so long, right? They're giving their years of their lives to MetaZoo, which is really cool to be part of.
I enjoy. I went back to Cryptocon this year, and just to see the same faces I've seen year after year, and just it's great to meeting like old friends again.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely want to go to Cryptocon this year. I was sad to have missed it last year, but I was when Sans came out, it was like nonstop for a month basically. So unfortunately, I missed it.
That's a good one. Another one you guys don't do. It's a little bit different. It's not as much crypto based or paranormal. The Gettysburg Battlefield Bash is a nice event too, and it's all
Oh,
goes to a worthy cause. That's a nice one. It's a 3 day event, and it's
when's
a
that?
nicely run. November. I'll send it to you. I think it's November. As
Okay.
far as sales, like the Saturday, Sunday are the best days. I usually set up a table. I sell enough just to kind of offset cost, and but basically, Friday's kind of just a good day to kind of hobnob. The nice thing too, every night they have an after party for the vendors and all the speakers and stuff. So it's a good way just to network and meet people. But it's all for, I believe it's Wounded Warriors and all that. So it's a
That
nice
definitely good
event.
cause. Yeah, good cause to support.
I believe her name's Pamela that runs it. She's really good. They do a great job. They run the Hoover House to a haunted house down
Yeah, maybe the foundation can do something with that.
there. Yeah, great, cool. Anything else you want to talk about?
Um, I don't know.
I know it's like I went through my list pretty quick here.
No, it's okay. No. I've been doing so many of these interviews that like I forget about what I talked about when I haven't talked about. Um,
And I don't talk game talk because I don't play. I gotta learn
no, that's
somewhat.
okay. I guess what I would want to maybe even your help with is engaging more with the cryptid community, knowing what these events are. What would be really cool is if the foundation could get involved with. I mean, there's so many cool creators and vendors that go to these conventions that are cryptid related, and I'd really love to, talk to them, tap into them more. I mean, you were with us from the beginning, but I feel like we're not even scratching the surface when it comes to the community aspect of the cryptid world, right?
Mhm.
So obviously we had Loveland, we were doing Hodag Heritage, but I don't want to be the group that goes to these events without somehow connecting with the other vendors and the other businesses that are there. I think it would make much more sense if we collaborate together and work together to kind of spread the message and kind of the cultural relevance of cryptids. Um, that's what one of my main focuses this year I want it to be. Um, but it's like, you blink and all of a sudden like we're in April and it's like, oh my gosh, like where did the past 3 months in 2023 go? So yeah, if you could help me with that, that can be Discord chats and stuff like that. But I'd love to connect with these people.
I always bring out some MetaZoo. Even when I was at Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, I had stuff on the table and I was passing out packs and stuff and talking, introducing people to it, and just I do my part as best I can, and I'll keep on doing that because you guys been really good to me, and I want to return the favor.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so Yeah, we're excited about this event. We've got it's kind of weird coming back out. Like I said, I haven't done it in so long. So I mean, I'm stressed to the max trying to get everything done. And then, of course, since now we're trying to do it in a video format, which you're still going to be up there talking, but I want to take advantage of that. Instead of having a PowerPoint and some of the laser pointing, let's just put together a nice production, run it, and then you can come out and talk. So, of course, that puts all the more pressure on me too now, because now I'm doing I'm interviewing people. I'm doing another one tomorrow. Cal's coming over, and then he has to give me his evidence, and I have to edit it all in and put in all that stuff. But I think it's worth it because it's such a higher quality product. I've never seen anyone do this at any of the other cons so far. But I think if we can do this, Ron Murphy, I've shown him some video of what we're doing. He's going, this is amazing. And he's all excited to put a video together himself. I'm sure some of them won't be able to do it, but for the most part, I think if we can kind of step this game up, and then on top of the benefit of this, I want to record the whole thing too. I can cut this up and put it up on YouTube for anyone that couldn't make it can see it after the fact too.
Right. Yeah. And I think that'd be amazing.
Would you guys like to put a video together, or do you have anything you want to run on the big screen?
That's a good question. Let me remind me on Monday.
Sure.
And I'll get my team on that and see if we can put something together.
Even just get a short little advertisement we can put up there, and HD, and it'll just look good. It's something to put in between, because I just want to keep it going. I want to make sure it's smooth, and we'll take breaks like for people to go hit the vendors. And it's like they actually have concessions. They sell wine and beer and stuff there, so it's kind of high end. It's really nice. But I want to make sure there's something on the screen pretty much nonstop, unless someone's talking at the moment. I think it's good.
I think it'll be fun, and I'll definitely be watching it, the recording when it comes out. Yeah, I'm sorry that I can't be there, or that we can't have a bigger MetaZoo presence there.
Well, it was the last minute for me to get it together. They came to me and said, "You got to pick out your dates." After they redid the theater, I was going, "I don't know if you guys still want to be there." They sunk me millions and millions into it. So, but it's great. So, but next year we'll have more organized. I'll have multiple days, because that's even Ted goes, "You're only doing the one day." It's like, it's all I could figure, So we're actually gonna after that we're gonna come back to the museum. So we'll talk to you guys, whatever you want to do. If you want to do some events there, or not events, but want to do some gaming there, or if you want to just set something up after 5:30 over here to teach people to play or whatever. If you into that, I'm not telling you to do it, but you've got that option. So
I appreciate that. Yeah. How many people do you anticipate coming?
everyone keeps, I don't know. I mean, it's so crazy. I'm hoping after this, talking to you, we get a lot more of the MetaZoo crowd in. So I appreciate if you can promote this one.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's kind of, I had about 10 people come in today in the museum, and none of them bought their tickets yet. They're going, "Can I buy them here?" No, you have to buy them online or the day of. I have no physical ticket to sell. It's all through Everbright and stuff. So it's kind of hard to tell, but I've gotten almost, I guess it's almost 1,400 likes, or people viewing the Everbright site. So I mean, we only have 380 seats. I mean, so it's I think it's going to sell out, but I don't know.
It'd be good problem to have if it does, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching like I figure when it gets like 350, I'm going to stop the sales, and then I'll have to buy it at the door. And then I've got some people too that are going to be able to come just because they had tickets from the previous one, and I stopped that when COVID came in. We shut down the tickets. I think it was like 30 some tickets sold or something before we shut it. And so those tickets are still good. And you love this too. I called back the ticket company. I won't say which one I used. And I said, listen, can you send me, where's the list of the tickets that we sold? Because I want to know I can honor them. Oh, we deleted those files. So why would you delete those files?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's taking up so much,
Yeah, like what? Like at most a megabyte, like of space. Like that's interesting.
All I needed was names. Just some names. So so that's just But anyway, I know the crowd that comes. We have the same folks pretty much come through. So that's what I made the badges up for. I figured everyone that comes in, it's been faithful to us, and they get one of these, and we'll sell some of the others and give some away. So there'll be something collectible there. So
very cool. Yeah, we can. We usually get our badges certified by PSA. So talk to Andy about that.
Oh, okay.
And we can definitely see what we can do with PSA.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, It's good talking to you, and I'll make sure we keep doing this every time you have another release. We'll kind of get together and talk about the. Actually, we didn't really talk about native much. We should talk a little bit about native. Talk about
uh,
everything but.
yeah. What do you want to know?
Tell me a little bit about I haven't even seen native yet, except what's been online, what you guys have been sneaking out. So you said you had indigenous artists.
Hmm. Yeah. So like we had our artists, some of our artists go and work with other indigenous artists and paint with painting materials that were used by those indigenous communities primarily. And we also had a few guest artists as well come in and do some card art. So, in talking with tribal leaders and stuff, we wanted to make sure that native was representative of MetaZoo, obviously, but then of course we didn't want to misrepresent them as well. So it was a definitely a collaborative effort, I think. And yeah, hopefully during the gala we can gala we can auction off some of those pieces for a good cause. And the organizations that were selected for the money to go to were actually selected by those artists. So
Cool.
yeah, it'll be interesting. It's definitely gonna be an interesting set. I think it's in terms of um like obviously we have war coming out this summer, but this is like the last thematic set that we're doing for the block of the Crypto Nation block of sets. So for me it was like I didn't want to leave the Crypto Nation, so to speak, without paying homage to the native deities, cryptids, folklore, mythologies, in a way that was respectful, but then also in a way that helped spread their message, right? And I think we went about it the right way, collaborating with these people and making sure that we were as representative as possible.
You guys did a great job with that. I mean, UFO having the foil that was launched into space, wilderness, the recyclable boxes, and I mean, you've really always done something unique with pretty much every set. So
Yeah, and the seance boxes were painted in blood, which is cool, but every set that we do, we want to in some way um make it thematic, have something special. I think with war, the idea is that we're going to be supporting a lot of different veterans organizations, and putting money towards that, and
that'd be
moving.
a good one then for Gettysburg.
Yeah, right. But we're the whole idea of MetaZoo having creatures and themes that are relevant to the real world. It makes sense to have things from the real world be impacted by a
Sure.
set release, right? Or somehow related to the set. So I think moving forward with every set, we want to do something special like that. Um, yeah, I'm
Print run
excited
good. Print run going to be 50,000.
for native. That is, I'd have to check on that,
Okay.
but yeah, it's definitely not going to be more than 50,000.
Okay. Just asking the basic questions.
No, no.
Or they get
Yeah,
yelled at the bottom. Why didn't you ask this? It's
but
like when I do the
I think
box openings, they yell at me for not putting sleeves on stuff.
yeah, I think people are going to be surprised with native. I think that it's going to be probably one of our strongest sets yet.
Cool.
Um, yeah, and I think it'll be one of those. It'll be a landmark set, right? Because it has our first, our fusion auras. It has a lot of cards that will be very, very relevant for gameplay for years to come. So, I think people are gonna love it.
Okay, on the collectible end now, I'm going to ask questions that you probably don't want to answer, but is there anything going to be hidden in there as far as a serialized number card or anything like that? Or
So I'll say that the art done by indigenous artists are not going to be easily found. I'll say that.
okay, very cool. All right, so I covered Nader, which I almost forgot. But let me make sure, go through my list quick. I think I got everything. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think I'm good on my end. But if you have any other questions, I'd love to answer them.
Uh, I'm trying to think as far as with us traveling now, that once I get the museum done, once I get over the hump with this my festival going on April 15th, and I'm gonna keep on pushing that. April 15th, Littleton, North Carolina. Everyone come down to check it out. MetaZoo is going to be there. We have a lot of great keynote speakers. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff, giveaways, and a lot of auctions. Actually, I have a bunch of MetaZoo slab cards. I'm going to work something out with there, figure out how we're going to auction some out, and then probably sell some there at auction sort of thing too. And that should be fun. I've got some pretty cool collectible stuff I've achieved along the way. Maybe I'll even let a pair of sneakers go or something like that. Who knows? I've got a lot of crazy. I got a room full. I look like I've got a disease or something. It's amazing. I had to tell the wife the other day when she was over here. I already told my kids, if I die, do not throw this stuff away. Call Mike, find out what it's worth. As I travel too, I'll work something out with you, and then we can talk about this later. But basically, I'll make sure we keep on doing some kind of tie-in, and I'll keep on promoting MetaZoo as we do it. Well, I'll try to make a bigger presence of it as we go out there too.
That'd be great.
Yeah. No, we're thrilled. You guys have been great to us.
Yeah, and just on Monday, reach out. We'll figure out if we can send an artist there, and who exactly will be representing MetaZoo, because we definitely want someone there.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much. I think we covered everything we need to, unless you can think of something. And
no, I think that covers it. Good luck at the event, and if you are a MetaZoo fan, definitely check it out if you're in the area. And I look forward to seeing how it turns out.
Yep, we miss you. We wish you were going to be there, but I know how it is. And we're looking forward to having you guys there. It's going to be a blast. I'm sure it's going to draw a big crowd into. And I'll try to make sure we have some unique stuff there for them to be raffled off or sold or whatever. So make it worthwhile for these folks who weren't there from the beginning, weren't able to get some of the unique stuff. That I'll make sure I have some stuff there.
Very cool.
Thanks a lot, Mike. I wish you all the best. You've done a great job. Your team's been amazing, and it's always a blast to talk to you. And it's always great when I get out there to like Cryptocon or any of the other events to when I meet the crew and go out. We actually, every Cryptocon always seems to be the time we go out for dinner.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it this year, and I'll see you at other events for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Well, look, thank you so much. Best of luck next 2 weeks, and let me know personally how we can help you.
Sounds great, Mike.
All right.
Take care. Try to slow down a little bit. I know you've been burning the candle at both ends,
Yeah. It's I love to do it though. So all right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and thank you so much for talking to me.
Take care.
All right. See ya.